This is Ulysses Youngblood. You're watching What's Up Worcester, and I'm here with Major Bloom. Happy to be here with you guys.
What's up, Worcester? It's me, Echo, from A Word from Echo and friends, and we are here today with Ulysses. I am Worcester's good news girl, and we are talking about Major Bloom, Worcester's first Black-owned dispensary, and we're excited for you to be here. Tell us a little bit about what it means for you, or what work did it take for you to even get here to be a player in this game?
Oh, absolutely. So I think first and foremost, we like to refer to ourselves as the cannabis establishment, right? Because you just saw the manufacturing, you saw the delivery. So altogether, it's an integrated business. It's not just about retail.
It is a one-stop shop because
Right.
you're making your own tinctures, you're doing everything here, you're breaking it down, nothing's coming third party. This is all in-house quality, good
Absolutely.
for you,
Yeah,
great
yeah.
for you stuff.
No, for sure. And that's the important part of, I think, the business is being able to know that we're integrated and we can pass that value down to our neighborhood. I mean, you're probably familiar with the Green Islands neighborhood.
Yes.
Yeah, so we got to do our part, basically. So, yeah.
Now, you've come into here, it's the Green Island neighborhood. Is there any way that you are working to affect the community here?
Oh, for sure. I think one of the biggest things is just working with our neighbors. We have great neighbors, whether it's the deli, whether it's the sneaker shop down the street. We just had a new gym open up on the corner there.
Wow.
You know, Electric Haze, Patsy Dugan's. So all these great businesses that definitely, what's the word, like complement.
I get
our
a sense
business
of
here.
camaraderie, like the
Oh, for
businesses
sure.
are supporting the businesses, the community is for the community.
For sure, yeah. Everyone's been welcoming us with open arms, so it's been cool. But yeah, I think in terms of doing our part, we're more or less just helping the local economy grow here. This building was vacant for like 20 plus years, so we invested over $1 million in here to bring it to life and just revitalize the neighborhood, if you will.
I definitely think you're more than just doing your part. I actually remember being at the Worcester Chamber of Commerce where you received an award, which was a pretty big deal, which was the BIPOC Business of the Year, I believe?
Yes.
You're definitely doing more than just your part.
I guess.
So how did that feel, or when did you find out that you were the recipient, and what was that like when you found out that information, sharing it with your team?
Yeah. So I really like the first and second in command at the chambers. Tim Murray, and then Alex. Alex is a local legend. Alex G. I actually met them for the first time at a local bar here. So, like, just full circle.
Because we are the community,
Well,
right?
basically,
That's the
it's like
purpose.
you got this dude with a high status, and he's at some local dive bar. Like, that was literally the first time we met. Even the mayor, Mayor Petty. Like, the first time I met him was at a local bar here, and he was with his entire team, his entire cabinet. And it just goes
Every
to
time
show.
I run into Mayor Petty, it's at a restaurant.
Right.
Or a
So he's
community event.
extremely down to earth, and I think that's really important, especially because they're supportive of the business, and the business being a locally owned business compared to a lot of other cannabis establishments in Worcester that are like multi-state operators or even Canadian operated, let alone being a black owner in this space. So there's just different levels to it for sure, and they've been extremely welcoming.
Now, not that we're asking you to share the secret sauce, right? But I'm sure there are plenty of people wondering, hoping to engage or follow in your footsteps. I know the journey wasn't easy. Anything you can share with me about the journey on getting here?
Yeah, I would think in terms of my experience, it's really important to stay true to yourself and really stay down. I mean, I think people ask me, like, even you asked, like, how long have you been open and what it took to get here. To be honest with you, it's like the way I look at it, it's like a lifetime, because when I was 18, I got in trouble for weed. And then that was around the same year that cannabis was becoming more mainstream and more commercially available. So I think at that time when I was 19, I had it in the back of my mind that, I was being targeted for sure. And then I'm not the only person that experienced that.
Yeah.
So I was able to take, that experience that I had mixed with my passion for business and, you know, working in teams, and then, you know, 15 years later, develop it into a business.
And now you're employing your community,
For
right?
sure.
And a community that was previously targeted,
Oh, for
right?
sure.
Now you've turned it into a passion, you've turned it into a hope, into a dream. You're giving back. I see you have plenty of BIPOC workers here.
For sure.
The community that you're located in is a BIPOC community, so I'm pro every single thing that you're
Oh, for
doing.
sure.
That's pretty amazing. So I know we were talking about this being a recreational cannabis facility, right? Now, one of the things that he told me, which blew my mind, he said it's recreational. He said we are the only facility that does free cannabis delivery.
Oh, for sure.
Now, you know here at What's Up Worcester, we're a fan of everything
Let's
free
go.
99.
Yeah, let's
Okay,
go.
so free 99.
Yeah,
If
let's
you
go.
have an order, is there an order limit?
Yes.
How do we get this services? I'm sure everyone out there is going, especially during snowstorms.
Yeah, yeah.
New England's unpredictable weather,
Yeah.
right? Instead of America runs on Dunkin', right? It could be Worcester runs on Bloom.
Let's go. Let's do. You got all the pitch phrases. But yeah, so it's $90 limit, and then anywhere in Worcester is free. There are some limitations that the state put on where we can deliver, so it has to be a residential address. So no nursing homes, or like we can't deliver at work.
Sorry, Grandma.
Yeah, no, which we should be able to. We're gonna push for that change for sure. But yeah,
I feel like
residential-
that's discrimination somehow.
You tell me about
Right?
it. There's more to it, but we'll
Well, not
save
only
it.
that, because let's talk about something else that probably should be talked about. Cannabis, THC, CBD, right? It's a form of medicine,
Oh, absolutely.
right? So we know that older you get, the more ailments that occur to you. So these are definitely people who need access and
Oh, for sure.
availability to this. I know personally when my grandfather was passing of cancer,
Sorry to hear that.
it's okay, and my mom who was passing away as well, towards the end of their life, they used medical prescriptions. They used CBD. They used, you know, marijuana to really help with their pain, to help with their appetites, to help,
For sure.
you know, give them some sense of peace and calm. So if we have people out there and they're looking for things like your tinctures and your CBDs or things like that
sure.
for help, tell us a little bit about what you have here to offer.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. So tinctures are our next wave. Traditionally, we cater to the legacy smoker, if you will. So that means anyone that is interested in pre-rolls, anyone that's interested in flower. Our menu is very specific to those people. And we consider that legacy, like traditional. We do work with a weed scientist. I love this dude from Barbados.
A weed scientist.
Weed scientist, this black dude. So he is one of the oldest people that work here, and he has a lot of experience. And he actually has a patent on the process, how he extracts oil from the plant and then puts it into a tincture. And he developed that because his family was sick in Barbados, and as well as him, he developed asthma over the years. So the special thing about tinctures is it's like the closest thing to traditionally smoking weed in terms of how long the high lasts and the effects of it, especially if it's full spectrum, which is what we do here. So for those who don't know, full spectrum basically uses the entire plant as opposed to just extracting THC. Are you familiar with that?
Yes, I am.
Word.
Actually, I am because I have a friend who deals in CBD, and she talks about her process all the
Absolutely.
time. And she talks about there's a difference between full spectrum CBD and not. And she's like, if it's full spectrum, you're getting the great stuff
Absolutely.
with the medicinal product,
Absolutely.
the side effects of
Oh,
that.
for sure. Yeah. And it's just a better high. You know what I mean? It's a full body high, full experience, and not just like, you know, the THC. So,
Well, I can say that I have suffered from migraines for a very long time. I went from being on like doctor's medicine, right, pharmaceuticals,
Yeah.
right, nobody really likes that, to my friend who said, here, try this tincture for your migraines.
For
And
sure.
when I tell you it changed my life, I can't even believe I'm on here
Oh,
saying that.
you know,
It changed
This
my
is why,
life.
This
I
is why
had,
you were so adamant about the tinctures. I'm like, why do you keep asking about tinctures? Because it's a personal story. That's
I
what's up.
suffer from migraines. I mean, debilitating migraines. And
Yeah.
I don't know if you've ever had a migraine, but it's like
But my guy who, yeah,
the
same thing.
light, the sound, the
Yeah.
movement, everything is affecting you, and you just want to not
For sure.
anymore.
See it.
And it takes that edge, and
Oh, for
anyone
sure.
who has migraines, they know what I'm talking about. It's
Yeah.
like you're feeling like a knife is being stabbed in you, and
Right.
it took it all away.
That's crazy.
So I've been using tincture
Tinctures,
ever
yeah.
since. And I actually have another friend who unfortunately is suffering from aneurysms, and she's had
Wow.
terrible pain in her head.
Absolutely.
And I remember I visited her, and I was like, girl, here, try this.
Right.
And she
it
said,
helps?
oh, I've
That's
never
crazy.
experienced pain relief prior to utilizing this tincture.
Man, that's
so
crazy.
that's just, I didn't even realize I was going to say that while I was on here, but it's medicine. There are helpful
for sure.
uses for it, and don't. If you are concerned, if you have a stigma, if you have questions, reach out, ask, come to Major Bloom. They have got a bunch of helpful people there who will be able to ask any of your questions, answer any of the questions that you ask.
Wow, that's special. I mean, yeah, just knowing the ins and outs of, especially if it's a personal story, because usually people hear tincture and they're like, "What is it?" But you're into it, so that's what's up.
Well, like I said, I've had some family members who were recently dealing with end of life and hospice situations, and those were actual medicines that helped them in their time of need, in their time of pain, in their time of stress, including God, because, for me, I'm always God first. But there are other things that can assist you, and for me personally, that's just something that has helped me.
Oh, for sure. That's what's up. That's what's up.
So another thing, and actually we'll get back to it after our commercial break, but this is What's Up Worcester. We're here with a word from Echo and friends, and our friend is Ulysses. And if it's good for you, if it's good for me, if it's good for the community, we want to talk about it. And Major Bloom is definitely good for you.
Let's go. That's what's up.
We're going to get back into it. And welcome back. We are talking with Ulysses Youngblood of Major Bloom, and we were actually about to get into some exciting potential news, right? I heard a rumor that potentially you might be wanting to or interested in doing your own cannabis show here for What's Up Worcester.
Oh, for sure. So I think what's been constant is the radio show that we do for WICN, 90.5. It's on Thursdays, 6 to 6:30. So we're all about creating content. I mean, we do sell weed for a living. However, we understand that narrating and telling the right story for the community about the plant is far more important, especially given the history of cannabis. So
I was about to say the history is very stigmatizing. It's very systematically and racially unjustified towards our end. So to be able to have someone who can tell the story, who can bring it to life, who can talk about things like we said, weed is medicine. Right?
Sure.
So, and to talk about all the different types of interesting, engaging things, what type of things do you plan on sharing with the community? We're so excited about this.
Yeah. Well, I mean, what we've been constant about is the real stories. So we've interviewed a lot of people who have been relevant to the industry. Our first interview that we've ever did was with Harriet Chandler.
Okay.
And she was instrumental with passing, the laws on cannabis. And advocating for it. We also have interviewed a host of business owners, a host of people who work in the industry. So I think it's important not to be in the space of like cannabis, like stoner culture, and be at a very professional high level. So we'll continue that.
Well, because like you said, this is a cannabis establishment.
Let's go.
Right?
It's not this dispensary.
Right? It's a one-stop shop. I feel like this is like the Amazon of
Think so?
yeah, right? Because like
Might try to
you,
buy me out.
but everything you need is right there, right? And
Mm.
not only that, I loved that we actually got to take a peek at your facility,
Oh, for
got
sure.
to take a peek at some of your workers, actually in the mix. And I believe was she making tincture? What was she making?
She was making pre-rolls.
She was making pre-rolls.
Yeah, yeah. That's our day in
I'm
and
not
day
that
out.
hip, guys.
Yeah. I mean, you know about tinctures, though. You got super excited about that.
Right. No, when we were speaking, you had said something about you had like $5 pre-rolls.
Yeah. Well, we sold all of them. Yeah.
You sold out of them. Do you plan on bringing that deal
We
back?
do, actually. So for Women's Month, I think we're coming out with a high testing pre-roll. It's like $7 or $8. And then once 420 hits, we're dropping a $20 ace for what's the 1st through the 20th. And on the 20th, we're coming back with $5 pre-rolls.
Now, what makes the Women's Month pre-roll a Women's Month pre-roll? Was it grown by women? Was it
Yeah.
was it the strain come up with by women? Like how is this woman?
Yeah, no, it's great. More or less the testing. So we look for high testing. And then the second thing is actually the label and just being able to integrate artwork honoring women. So you saw John
I
Mayvon.
love
He's a
that.
graphic designer. You saw that label printer back
Yes.
there.
That's
so
the
that's why
label
we,
printer.
Right. Yeah, our labels
You were
are
so
creative.
excited about that label printer, and I was like,
It's
labels.
Yeah, no, it's a big differentiator.
But now it makes
Every label that
sense.
we print has artwork on it.
Oh my gosh, we're gonna definitely have to see some of these labels.
Oh, for
That's
sure.
fantastic. Now, for all of your labels, do you include local Worcester artists? Like, is this like a
We have,
community
actually.
thing? Like, how does
Yeah,
this
yeah.
work?
So one of our biggest ones that we're planning towards is actually the Femme Bar on Green Street. So we
My
have
twin sister, Bree, from Bree Sweet Treats, is actually working with them to do their desserts.
that's dope.
So this is great. Fembar, yes, go Fembar. New
Yeah.
bar opening. Definitely come out. Definitely support. Worcester
Sure.
definitely needs a variety of businesses. This is so amazing. So
Yeah.
do you actually know the owners?
Yeah. They were just here on Sunday, and what we're doing, she's cousin with a local artist, Janessa, we have her piece.
Janessa Burks?
Yeah.
I love
this is her
Janessa.
piece, That's her piece.
There's one of her pieces that she did that
There's
I've
3 of her
actually had my
pieces.
eyes
Oh,
on.
word. Yeah, word.
Janessa, you know what it is. I've been Instagramming her about it.
Yeah, that's mad
I
fun.
want it.
So so we're integrating her art and actually dropping a product that in collaboration with the Femme Bar. So it's not only just a label, but it's an actual product that we've basically, worked on together. So
That's fantastic. I love how you're involving the community
Oh,
in
for
everything that you do. And I love that you just didn't come into the community and sit on top of it. You
No.
came into the community, you made yourself a part of it, you integrated with it,
Well,
you're
it's-
bringing in the culture.
you know what it is? I mean, Worcester's been very embraceful. So like, I moved here to go to college years ago, and I had my troubles. You know what I mean? Like, I got arrested a bunch of times, had issues with the Worcester police. So after kind of going through all that, I'm just in a space of like having gratitude and wanting to, be a part of the community. So.
And they say hustle until they ask if you're hiring, right? So I have a question. How many people from your past have come back and asked you to hire them?
From my past, I think it's more or less new people. I got a lot of people who hit us up on Instagram, email, LinkedIn.
That's great. And are you currently hiring? Are you currently looking for more workers?
We actually just hired like 5 new people in the last month.
Ooh, sounds
So
like
we're
growth
at,
to
like,
me.
Yeah, like 30 employees on the
Major
team.
bloom is in bloom.
Yeah, something like it. Something like it. But yeah, there's always a need, for sure. Because there's areas of our business that we're not in full stride yet, like our wholesale business. As I mentioned, we sold to about 50 other retailers. I'd like to
Wow.
increase that number. So that means more people back in the kitchen. You know what I
Yes.
mean? So, yeah.
I've never seen a kitchen like that before. I cook. I love food.
Right.
When you said kitchen, I was like, oh my God, maybe we can collaborate and I can do some cooking classes.
Hell, you cook with weed?
No.
Yeah.
No.
Some weed kitchen.
But here, I thought maybe in the future bring classes
Oh, for sure.
here that will allow people to experiment in their cooking.
Oh, for
Because
sure.
I know there's a lot of people who are always wanting to cook and add different things, and I know this is a great new market. I know, they're even offering cannabis classes in college now.
Oh, for sure.
Like, this is crazy.
I teach that.
Where?
Yeah. At Clark University.
I was going to say they offer it at Clark,
Yeah,
and it's
yeah.
you. I'm a
Yeah.
Clarkie.
Are you serious?
Absolutely.
Yo, that's what's up.
Yes, I played on the basketball
Did
team.
you really?
Yes,
Yeah, that's
one of
ill.
those banners in the gym is mine.
Are you serious? You guys
Yes.
won a state?
Just a new MAC championship.
Yo, that's what's up.
We got knocked out of the NCAAs by Salem State.
Do you know Norman, Professor Norman?
No,
No?
I don't believe I recall. But
He was at Clark, and he was a nation leading scorer ahead of Shaquille O'Neal when they were in college together.
Okay.
And him and I started. So I teach schools there: School of Management, which is undergraduate, and the School of Professional Studies, which is graduate. So we started undergraduate together, and it was just crazy because he worked for Adidas after he graduated from Clark. He's been there for like 25 years, and then I have my background. So neither one of us was like traditional academia, but we came with like this crazy experience and like brought it to Clark. And he's doing really well with his classes. He's a big basketball guy.
That's
you're probably
fantastic.
familiar with. You might be familiar with him.
Well, we have a lot to talk about anyways, because
Yeah.
I know you're big in supporting the community. So we're going to talk about the support of Who Cares, my basketball nonprofit.
Sure.
It is a youth sports recreation nonprofit, and we work with community service, creating leaders on and off the court. So there's a million things that we could do today in the community. I'm glad that you're a Clarkie. I'm glad that you like basketball.
Love it.
All right, all right. And so the most exciting thing is we're looking forward to your new show coming up.
Let's get it.
Hopefully you come up with a great new name. Or do you have a name? What is the name of your show, your current show?
Our current show is Infuse Influence, and that's the radio show. And then we have an internet show, which is called For the Record.
Infuse Influence.
Yeah.
I see what you did there.
Yeah, a lot of infusion going on in that
I
kitchen.
like that. I like that. That's smart.
Yeah, and it's important to talk about the influence, and that's why it's a mature conversation and not just like stoner culture, you know?
I love that. I love that because, like you said, this is an establishment, and we have to get out of the mindset of the
for sure.
stoner culture, the racism, the stigma attached
sure.
to it. I love what you're doing. I love that you're in this neighborhood. I love that you have a show. I love that you want to bring your show to our show.
go.
Excited about the free deliveries, the $5 pre-rolls, the tincture, because y'all already told you my migraines, right? This has been excellent. If there is one thought that you could leave the community with, what would it be?
I think it would be for the community to be aware of the changes that are happening, not only in Worcester, but around the globe, around the United States. And I think that Major Bloom is a part of that change.
I love it.
I think from an economic standpoint, I really like what we're doing. And then again, it has a lot to do with people of color and giving opportunities. So I just just be aware of the changes, and you have a decision to make to be on the right side of history or the wrong side of history. You know
That's
what I mean?
right.
And for those who have influence, be the change that you wanna see. And that's basically what Major Bloom is. We wanted to see change, and we created it.
I love it. I love it. Well, guys, you heard it here first from Ulysses Youngblood, the owner of Major Bloom. Looking forward to extending this conversation on your new show. And we were just so excited that you had us here today. This is What's Up Worcester. This is a word from Echo and friends. And remember, if it's good for you, if it's good for me, if it's good for the community, let's talk about it.
All right, nice.
Of course, I messed up the end.